a stewardship operating system for business and life. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you should view your life and business through the lens of stewardship, rather than what you can gain and accumulate and how it can benefit you in the process. So in the previous videos, I've explained the light framework, which essentially is you cast a eternal vision based on kingdom impact and becoming Christ-like in what you do. Your eternal vision is who you are becoming in the process, which is what matters biblically, and having the biggest positive influence on as many people as possible. Your eternal vision is also a solid rock that never changes. It's consistent across time, space, and everything that you do. That is your solid rock. You then create your long-term goals based on this, which is tangible, actionable, and measurable, and something that you can aim towards. You then create a 3-year goal on what you can realistically achieve if you do everything right in 3 years, and then bring that down to a 1-year goal, business goals and impact goals, and then you bring your 1-year goal into quarterly goals, which is something you aim for in the short term, and then you bring your quarterly goal into your monthly goals, your weekly goals, and your daily goals, and introduce a system of accountability so you can measure your progress towards. You can make sure that your daily goal aligns with your weekly goal, and then your weekly goal aligns with your monthly goal aligns with your quarterly goal, and then you implement this system so that every day you're making meaningful progress day in, day out. Okay, this is a pretty common goal setting system, except for I've never seen anyone have the eternal vision at the top. Most of the time the stuff I've learned about this vision and framework is from a secular perspective, but the whole goal setting system of long-term goals down to the day-to-day actions, it's a pretty common thing that people do. The way that I teach it and have implemented it in my own life is you have this framework that works, it's proven by science, there's millions of people that have got results from it. So the goal setting system works, is you align it with becoming Christ-like in your day-to-day actions, which is you progress towards your daily targets in a way that aligns with Christ-like light, which is love, integrity, gratitude, generosity, humble service, transformative excellence, and efficiency, and you align that with your business goals, where you prioritize kingdom impact goals over your revenue targets. And as a result of doing that, as a result of prioritizing kingdom impact and being a positive influence, you're going to increase revenue as you go through it. Revenue will increase as a byproduct, while you will have more joy and meaning in your lives. And that's why it's so important to do. Now, the additional aspect to add onto this is to have a stewardship operating system there, and that is by having an eternal vision rooted in kingdom impact, that essentially puts you in a position where you view your business as it's not your business, you are stewarding God's business, because you're doing it for kingdom impact. Now what does that do? Well, in Proverbs it says, all wisdom begins with fear of the Lord. And if you believe that you've been given a big vision to execute, and you believe that you're accountable to God, well, that certainly gives you motivation to do things, because you never know that as a result of one of your actions today, you may plant a seed in someone who otherwise wouldn't have a seed, and that someone else later might water them and they may harvest and bloom in the future. You don't know, you just don't know the people that you've influenced. A lot of the time, someone may read something that you post, or someone may interact with you, and then something you said sinks into the subconscious, and then it arises up later in a different context, and then they remember it, and then that influences their behaviour afterwards. So it puts them on that trajectory towards kingdom impact, or whatever it is that you're trying to do, to have that positive influence on them. Well, if your target is to contact 100 people per week, like LinkedIn outreach to 100 people per week, but you decide that on Friday you can't be bothered because you're tired and you're burned out rest. So, okay, 100 per week is 20 per day. You've already done 80 this week. Let's just do 10 today on Friday, brings it up to 90, we'll be all right. Well, what about if that 91st person was the person that you plant the seed in? You don't know. By having that eternal vision and viewing yourself as your steward, it gives you that accountability and internal motivation to actually do the things that you need to do, especially on the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, quarter-to-quarter basis. So it helps you progress faster and actually stick to your goals. The next reason of the stewardship model is it's so important to have an attitude of financial stewardship. You are generating revenue in your business, not just for yourself. Sure, you can use it to do the things that you want to in life, but also you want to steward your finances and resources for the benefit of others. So for me personally, what I want to do when Kingdom Impact Lab generates more revenue is I want to use the excess cash to invest in projects locally that align with my own values, especially things like education, so I can have a positive influence in the community by creating or supporting the projects that I want to. I want to invest the revenue that I make from Kingdom Impact Lab, especially around the light framework, so that I can invest into a low-cost community to help more people around the world apply light in their day-to-day lives, but in different areas of life. But obviously having a $10 a month membership is not sustainable to build, because it would need subsidising from the coaching and consulting side, which is what I want to do. And long term, I would want to invest in other Christian entrepreneurs that have a business model or a business idea and they can't get it off the ground, and they need help and support and guidance and mentorship, and then to be generous with my time and to invest in the businesses and help them grow so they can have a positive influence and impact as well. And one of the reasons is because it's something that I'm actively trying to find and search for someone to kind of, you know, I want to have a business partner, and I want to have someone that can help and guide me, not financially, but in terms of what I'm doing, just for the support, because it's hard being on your own. It can be very lonely sometimes, and it's so hard to come by. So I want to be that person to other people as well. The point being is, this is what I want to do with my finances for the benefit of others. And by having that financial stewardship attitude, it gives me more motivation and accountability and pushes me towards achieving the goals. And the reality is that when you set yourself small targets, daily targets, weekly targets, monthly targets, that your goal is to make them as automatic as possible so that you do them without thinking. And then over time, these habits that you have and the day-to-day actions you take are going to compound and compound and compound and snowball over the quarter, over the year, over 3 years. And this is where you get the big results. Because the reality is that the only thing that you can control is the present. You cannot control the future, you can't control the past. You can only control what you do in the present, and your actions in the present moment are going to contribute to what the outcome is in the future. So if you have the right habits and actions and targets that you've set yourself, and you're taking daily actions in the present moment, and you do it for a long enough period of time, they are going to compound and magnify and snowball up into bigger, better results. But for most of us, when you've been doing things for a while, you kind of get bored, and then you let yourself off the hook and you slack off a little bit, and you don't pursue it with the same conviction because it's boring and you no longer get the dopamine release and all this. And then you stop, and then the compounding stops. And then you wake up 6 months later and think, I wish I'd have continued doing that, because imagine where I'd be. Well, having your business viewing your business as a stewardship operating system, where one, you operate as a steward of enacting God's vision that He put into your mind, that you have that accountability to do things and to hit your targets, because you've kind of got to. if you have that mindset. And having an attitude of the way that you want to steward your finances for the benefit of others, like with what I want to do, it also motivates you as well, because it's hard to be, you have to focus on financial targets in your business, because otherwise, one, your business ain't gonna work. It'll go under because you need to cover your costs. But also, one thing that I've personally found and spoke a lot about in some of the older videos is that when you set yourself a goal of a financial target, when you've achieved financial security and comfort, you tend to plateau because you no longer have the pressure to do things, and then you allow comfort to kick in and take over. And when that comfort takes in and you became too secure and you take less risks, and you're not motivated then to pursue the next goal as much as you otherwise would. But when you have goals and targets of how you want to steward your finances and resources, then it kind of gives you that motivation towards, so you actually continue pursuing goals with the same level of vigor. Well, at least that's the case in my experience. Okay, so that is all. See you in the next video.